prime success for better future.
So, friends, you are meeting Mr. Devanand Upadhyay, a retired banker and a science graduate with the law degree and MBA degree to my credit after I became a banker. And Syndicate Bank was my playground for 40 years. And when I joined as an officer, I didn't know that what I should become. When I interacted with my seniors, general manager, I still remember, he told me, Upadhyay, try to become me. That means general manager. So because when I joined the bank as an officer, I was one among the 29,000 officers. And finally, when I retired, I was the one among the 15 general managers. Number 3 in the bank. So friends, this is only to inspire you people, because banking is a very dry job, if you take it so. But Syndicate Bank gave an opportunity to work in all metro centers, including abroad. But friends, I am Upadhyay by surname. In Sanskrit, it is called as teacher. So I had a fancy for teaching. That bank gave me an opportunity, knowing my skills, to be a faculty and a principal in the training system. And this helped me on my post-retirement so that I could become an associate dean in Manipal Academy of Banking in Bangalore. And I served them for 6 years or 7 years. Now, when I interact with the people, the main complaint which I get in the so-called Dakshina Kannada district, the cradle of banking, is that there is nobody from South Canara in the banks, because the game of selection has completely changed. Now, that is the biggest challenge, for which perhaps the famous training institute Prime in UDUPI has some plans for you. And we are moving on from the classroom training to the online systems. And because the reason is, when the selection of the banking personnel has undergone a sea change, and with 1.4 billion population in the country, currently, if you count the learning community from the KG number 1 to the post-graduation, it's about nearly 0.35 billion in India. That tells how much a competition is there. So competitive exams are the only methods to get selected. And 2-3 things I would like to share with you when you face these competitive exams. The competitive exams assess each one's knowledge and the skill set. Knowledge is, with regard to everybody knows, is a question of paper-based things. Whereas when it comes to skill set, it is to be developed under the guidance of somebody, guidance of people who are well versed in these skill sets. And the cornerstones of these skill sets is to, if a situation is given to you, how do you analyze, how do you interpret, and how do you evaluate? These are the 3 cornerstones of the analytical skill sets. And for that, the 2 tools are very, very critical. One is critical thinking and the logical reasoning. and the platform for developing these skill sets. The choice is, one is self-study, since there are competitive exams, and other one is the coaching. The disadvantage of self-study is that you are practically aiming in the dark because you don't know. And another thing is that there is no mid-course evaluation at all in the self-study because nobody is going to tell you that whether you are on the right track or in the wrong track. Whereas if you get into a coaching institutes like Prime, the advantage you get in a coaching institute is that it is structured approach. The whole training program or the teaching program or the skilling program in an institute of repute is structured. First, they offer you a structured approach. The second one is they give you a systematic study plan. The third point is that it is the syllabus coverage, because the syllabus coverage is the most important thing perhaps which is required for facing these competitive exams. And the biggest advantage of going through a coaching institute is that you have the guidance of the experienced faculty who will tell you that what are the valuable insights which you will have to have when you take on the examination, and what is the problem solving techniques which you have to develop, and more than anything else, there is a continuous evaluation through mock tests, so that after a study of 15 days you will know, when you face an exam you will know where you are. And this advantage you get only in a coaching institute and never in a self-study. And the biggest challenge is that all exams are time-based. In a matter of 2 hours, how do you compete? With the others, numbers I cannot count, I told you 3.35 billion total. So when it comes to that, now if I have to select 10 people out of 100 or 1000 or 2000, so you know that. So if you are seeing the percentile max in the competitive examinations of the IAS or the CAT examination or the other NTSC examination, etc., you can see that they go to 6 digits, 7 digits now, because that is how the variation comes. And the minimum cutoff perhaps will be 90%. If they are less than 90%, there is no question of you getting successful in the competitive examination. That being the case, friends, my only suggestion to you is that make use of these coaching institutes, because coaching institutes give you another advantage that they have a bunch of trainees, so you have got an advantage of peer learning from others, learning from other students who are in the same class like yours. So even though there is online, because now time is no problem at all now. Time and distance are out once the online systems are in. Now the next thing is that you have the exam formats which are specifically designed for a particular examination. Now for example, banking exam. What is the IBPS examination? What it will be like? How you are, because there are so many tools they will give you, and the question handling. How do you handle the questions? Because suppose you spend 1 more minute in one question, then you are losing 5 questions. So this is the advantage. So this is the advantage of learning in a coaching institute. And there is a periodic assessment of all of you in the mock test. And my request is that, unfortunately, currently the competition is so thick, as I have handled the IBPS examinations trainees in my assignment with the Manipal Academy Banking. They say that because they are compelled to institute negative marking for today to select. Otherwise you cannot eliminate, because the elimination is now selection is not the criteria in a competitive examination. Elimination is the criteria. Suppose 1000 people are appearing for the examination, and 10 posts are only about 10. So you will have to eliminate 999. 990 people have to be eliminated. How to eliminate this? This is the main question. That is why, my dear friend, negative marking also has got into this thing. So, according to me, to sum it up in 2 minutes, is that today it should be more of an Ekalavya approach. When Ekalavya, I think if you don't know, I just would like to recount that he was one of the student of sage Drona, along with Arjuna on the other side. Arjuna had the benefit of the kingdom before him, behind him, whereas Ekalavya was a son of a hunter. But he also wanted to study and learn under Drona. But the thing is, you know that systems are so prevalent. But the thing is, Ekalavya approach is like, you are practically aiming in competitive examinations with no guidance. But question is that if the approach is perfect and if the approach is positive, and with the help of the coaching institutes which are there and the guidance of the good faculties which are there, I am sure that you will not miss becoming an expert in the shooting. That's why I am telling you, my dear friends, I wish you all the best. So develop for a recap, I would like to put it that 5 things I have put it as Pancha Tantra. Pancha Mantra was one period, but today it is Pancha Tantra because it is all techniques. Tantra is techniques. Techniques means first is analytical skills. I told you, remember, my dear friends, any question what you face, you have to see through the question because it is analytical skills. And second thing is, the second bottom line is critical thinking. You have to think something different than others. That's only we can bring. The third one is, it should be reasoning. The power of reasoning is most important. And the practice and the method, practice. As many of us say that I have attempted twice because I am seeing, as when I was the Associate Dean Manipal Academy Banking, I still remember Mr. Narendra, Chairman of Indian Overseas Bank, telling me that at least get about 10 people from South Canara for my bank. And I am telling you, in a batch of 300, there are only 3 people from South Canara who passed the exam because the others did not pass. Why? Because as I understand, practice is the only method. Because you have to eliminate 990 people, and if you have to be among the 10 selected, you have to be something different and something superior. And of course, the biggest challenge in the competitive examination is the time. And if time cannot expand, it is not elastic, it is fixed. So that being the case, my time is also up, my dear friends. All the best for you. And I am sure that you will take advantage of the famous institute of Prime Institute in Udupi, initiated by Mr. Ratna Kumar, so that they are getting into the mood of the online classes. Take advantage of this because if you have to be something different and something more successful than others, because minimum cutoff is 90% minimum. Otherwise, there is no question of you getting any job anywhere, maybe in this thing. And mind you, since I am an ex-banker, I am telling you that I represent an industry which employs the maximum number of people other than government jobs. So that is why banking is more important. All the best for you. Thank you.